Workhorse shareholders have been stressing out over the USPS news that's been coming out lately. Specifically, I'm referring to Trump personally blocking any funding that would bail out the USPS. So this, of course, brings up concerns over the $6.3 billion contract and the next generation delivery vehicles that Workhorse has been competing for. A lot of YouTubers have already reported that if Workhorse doesn't get a portion of this contract, the share price will simply tank. So the question becomes, should you be worried about the funding that's surrounding the $6.3 billion NGDV contract? In this video, I'm going to be answering this question and much more. And we're going to be starting right now. Hey, what's going on? It's Pat from Top Ticker Trades. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your wealth through investing and trading stocks in the market, make sure you start right now by subscribing and tapping that bell so you never miss a thing. I'll see you in the video. Let's go. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're talking about Workhorse again. But this time, we'll be mainly focusing on the NGDV contract and how it is affected by all of this negative news that we've been seeing lately coming out about USPS funding. So obviously, a lot of people are freaking out and want to know whether or not they should be selling their shares or holding on. So let's get right into it. First of all, I'm going to spare you all of the boring details and just tell you that this is all political and has to do with the election. Trump is against voting by mail and has made statements such as mail-in ballots substantially increases the risk of crime and voter fraud. Trump has specifically intervened to block the USPS from receiving any stimulus money, but the stimulus package that he signed into law does allow the USPS to borrow up to $10 billion from the U.S. Treasury. So essentially, Trump will not bail the USPS out because it will enable them to run voting by mail. But what does the USPS have to say about this? Well, the good news is that the USPS has recently confirmed that it does have plans to award one or multiple contracts for the NGDV contract by the end of the year. And when I say recently, I mean as recently as August the 13th, so just a few days ago. Now, if you'll recall from my previous videos, the USPS had to delay several steps in the process, most recently moving the deadline for the NGDV production request for proposals to July the 14th, which they've stated is due to the virus. Now, remember that negotiations were also expected, which is perfectly reasonable, and in my opinion, we are basically waiting on that process to be finished. Now, this information comes from Kimberly Frum herself, which she is the senior public relations rep for USPS. Now, she did an interview with trucks.com, and then also Fox Business picked this up and then released the report on August the 13th, which is why I mentioned that date earlier. So let me ask this question here and let's think about it logically, okay? Why would USPS why would they confirm that they're going to be awarding these contracts if they were unsure about funding, okay? If they didn't know for sure that they were going to have access to the $6.3 billion in order to award this contract that all these companies have been bidding on and spending money on in order to create prototypes, which obviously they can't use for anything as these prototypes were built to USPS specifications, which were obviously created in good faith based on their belief that their prototypes would be evaluated and have a shot at being selected, which would guarantee each company the 5 to 7 years worth of work. And that's assuming that they got the entire contract. But you get the picture. And let me remind you that USPS has been struggling financially for a while now. So why are they so confident that they're going to have funds available, enough funding available to cover the amount needed to award the NGDV contract And they're comfortable enough to be able to confirm just a few days ago that they are still planning on rewarding that contract by the end of the fiscal year, okay, which is October 1st, so technically that will be September 30th. And that question, ladies and gentlemen, brings me to my next point, okay? This will not affect the NGDV contract at all, okay? All the stuff that's going on in the news has no effect on the NGDV contract because government funding for contracts is secured prior to that project ever being posted. So in our case with Workhorse, the NGDV contract was already funded, or the funding was secured in 2012. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to tell you is that we are good to go. If you're holding that Workhorse, keep holding that Workhorse unless you're so scared that you want to sell that Workhorse, in which case you'll be making a huge mistake. Don't forget that ARK Invest owns almost 500,000 shares in Workhorse. Do you want to take a risk at missing out on the tremendous profits that you could be making just by holding through a rough time if that time were to happen? You have to make that decision for yourself because I'm not a financial advisor and I can't help you out there, okay? But I am a YouTuber. I do produce content, which makes some people believe that I'm a very credible source when it comes to this kind of stuff. But listen to me when I tell you don't listen to me, all right? If that makes sense. All right, before I release you guys, there's just two more things that I need you to know. Number one, I kept this video extra short to avoid getting 30 comments from complainers that think my videos are just way too long or that I talk way too slow. In my defense, I think that you guys, the complainers, listen way too fast. Anyways, if you're one of my cool and low maintenance subscribers that wants a full-blown version of this video with all of the details that I left out, let me know in the comments below. Now, item number two, fellow YouTuber Jack Spencer recently interviewed the Workhorse CFO, and it came out that Workhorse is getting into the refrigerated truck industry. So this could be very big for Workhorse. I like it a lot. And I'll tell you guys what, if you get me 500 likes on this video, I'll go and do some heavy research on refrigerated trucks, refrigerated truck companies, and Workhorse and their entire plan for the refrigerated trucks. And most importantly, I'll talk really fast.
Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, you've made it to the end of the video. If you found this video helpful, I ask that you help this channel out by smashing that like button, as it motivates me to keep making videos just like this one every single day. If you're not a subscriber, you should consider subscribing, as I publish valuable content like this daily. You can do so from your screen right now, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can click on the video that you'd like to see on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.